All right, everybody, it's Mike Johnson backstage at Ring of Honor. We are here with someone who made his return to Ring of Honor this year, that being BJ Whitmer, a man who took many hellacious bumps over the course of Ring of Honor. Obviously the company always changes and evolves. How would the company change between the time of your departure and then your return teaming with Rhett Titus?
Well, of course, they completely changed ownerships. Sinclair Broadcasting stepped in and bought the company. I guess it was that 2011 before I made my return. It has a different feel to it now, a little more of a corporate feel instead of like a smaller mom and pop type shop, and you just had Kerry, one person owning it, where you now have a corporation owning it. So that's about the biggest difference. I mean, the boys still come here. We still work hard to put on the best show possible.
Right. The team with Rhett Titus kind of surprised a lot of people because it came out of nowhere. Yeah. We both grab our cell phones to see who's ringing.
That was my bad. Apologize.
That's all right. Airplane mode, people. Airplane mode.
Yep.
The team with Rhett Titus, you come out of nowhere and take people by surprise. What was your reaction when they first contacted you about coming in? Because you had done some shots for the company, and then they brought you back in at TV to team with Rhett.
Yeah, I had done some shots. I did the debut in Cincinnati, and they gave me Jay Lethal in Proving Ground match, and then I had teamed with Generico in Chicago in April of 2012, and I had wrestled Kevin Steen the next night in Dayton, and they brought me in some shots. I did like a four-way in Charleston, West Virginia, and I think at that time it was just waiting for a spot to open up to slide me into a more full-time position with the company again. I think if there was a spot open back in February when I first started, I think I would have got one then, but it just so happened that Kenny King left the company, and it left a spot open to tag with Rhett, and they asked me if I was interested, and I was absolutely, definitely interested. I just wanted a spot back. Even like when I first started back, when I contacted the company and let them know I was going to be wrestling again, I never expected to just walk in and get my spot back. I told them, I was like, I want to earn it. I was like, don't hand me anything. I'm willing to come in and work my ass off and show you that I still got it at 34 years old, that I can come in and still hang with all these younger guys that are on the roster now. So I think I earned my spot back, and once a position opened up, the slot opened up, they slid me into it.
Now, obviously, you took a ton of crazy bumps. There's the cage match with Jimmy Jacobs, powerbomb into the crowd in New York.
Yep, right next door here.
Yeah, right next door at the New Yorker. Yep. As you get older, how's the body holding up, and is it harder to compete, so to speak, with younger guys who are doing what you did when you were younger?
I think over the past couple of years that I've been back in the business now, I've learned to take care of my body a little bit better. I take more time into taking care of my body, and I put more effort into that now. And I mean, I'm going to have to if I want to extend this run a little longer that I'm on. So I've just really concentrated on trying to preserve my body. I still got there and work hard. I still take the big bumps. That's part of what I love about this business. Part of what I wanted every match I went out to. I wanted to be one of the guys that took one of the biggest bumps in the show. But I've just really concentrated on this last run of icing more and stretching more and warming up, little things like that, like just stretching a little bit extra before you work, stretching after you work and stuff like that. It's really paid dividends for me. But my body's holding up fine. I mean, I had ligament reconstruction done on the ankle. I had ligament reconstruction done on my wrist. I've had elbows worked on. I've had my nose fixed from it being broke so many times. So I've had several surgeries, but the body feels good. I mean, I can't complain. You still wake up in the morning and the storm front's moving in. You still get the aches and pains from the arthritis and stuff. But it's nothing that I can't tolerate, and that I can't get out of the bed and go to the gym and stuff. I still do all that stuff. Still maintain a regular daily life.
Right. Was it hard to make the decision to jump back in the business full time after you had taken some time off?
Not really. I thought I had made peace with being done after the wrist injury, but in the back of my mind, I never really truly like how it ended for me, because it didn't really end on my terms. I just kind of got hurt in Japan, come back home, injury was misdiagnosed and had the surgery, and it I just kind of rode off into the sunset, and nobody ever really heard from me. I didn't have quote-unquote big send-off or anything like that. And not that I have to have that, but I want this run to end on my terms when I'm ready. When I thought I was ready then, but I wasn't. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be back right now. But the main thing is I want it to end on my terms this time.
Right. Well, we talk a lot about Les Thatcher on the site, obviously, because he does weekly Wrestlers Radio. Yeah. Les trained you. What's your best Les Thatcher story?
Let's see, do I have any good Les Thatcher stories? I can tell you about Les, though. He's very, very passionate about this business, and it comes across anytime you talk to him. You can just see it, you can feel it, in the conversations you have with him. And I think he's like opened up because I've read some of the stuff he's written recently, and he's warmed up to some of like the newer style of the wrestling like that's on the indies nowadays, and he's put over some matches that back when I started he wouldn't have put over. Like I believe a year or two ago I was reading when I think Drake Younger and B-Boy had a tremendous match at CZW, and he put the match over. I guess he was out there for camp for DJ maybe or something, and really put the match over. And I can't say for sure, but I don't think like when I first started he would have put a match like that over just because it wasn't his cup of tea and wasn't what he was used to. But I think he's starting to evolve, and see that even though we don't work the same style that they worked back then, that he can appreciate what we do and the effort that we put into it, and what we put our bodies through for this business.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for your time. One last question, then we'll let you get out of here. As someone who's had so much history in Ring of Honor, and the anniversary show's coming up in February in Chicago, what's your personal favorite Ring of Honor memory? Is it winning the tag belts with Dan Moff? Is it one of those crazy bumps? Is it the return?
So many moments that I hold special about like the Ring of Honor, like my whole time there. I mean, I can start off the first night I was there in Pittsburgh. The first like four corner that really set the pace for the four corner survivals that we did with me and Paul London and Homicide and Cole Cabana. There's the one we did in Elizabeth, New Jersey at the Rexplex with me, Moff, Homicide, and Cabana. I mean, the CZW feud, all those matches, the six-man there in the Armory where half the crowd, like literally half the Armory was CZW, half the Armory was for ROH, and it was just the atmosphere in that. Barbed wire match with Necro at the end of the CZW feud. All the stuff I did with Jimmy Jacobs, from tagging with him and winning the tag belts, our tag run, to the series of matches we had against each other, which, in my opinion, is still one of the best feuds, like the best series of matches I think that Ring of Honor's had. I mean, does it compare with some of the the technical masterpieces that like Brian and Nigel had? No, but they have their own special niche of what they were, what we brought to the table in that feud. So, I mean, there's so many things, and then my return in Cincinnati, being in front of, a hometown crowd, wrestling Jay Lethal, and this whole run, I've tried not to take anything for granted. Like, last time, it was like one of those things you're like, this is never going to end, and quickly, like that, it can be taken away from you. And I'm not taking, I'm really cherishing, this last run I've had an opportunity to make, and not that it's anywhere near being over, I hope, knock on wood here, but,
we missed the wood knocking. Do it again.
Yeah, knock on wood, hopefully, if that's wood or linoleum or whatever the hell it is.
It's a work, it's wood.
It's wood. But yeah, I'm just not taking anything for granted this time, I'm just really treasuring every moment I get, these road trips, with the guys, I didn't have that for 2.5 years, and just cherishing and treasuring every moment of this last run.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in 2013.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.